Alright, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to make a homemade humidifier for my terrarium that I've built for my snakes. I got this idea off of YouTube from some other people as well, and I'm basically going to try it. I'm going to go over, first off I'm going to do pretty much what it's going to end up being. So basically what's going to happen is you're going to have a jug, you're going to fill it pretty full of water, you're going to have an air hose coming at the bottom, and you're going to have arrows coming out the top that actually goes into each terrarium. And you just hook up an air pump to it, and what's going to happen is the air is going to come through the water. It's obviously going to humidify the air that is coming up. It's going to force the air out of the top of the jug into your terrarium. That will then be extremely high humidity air coming through there, so it should work as a humidifier. It obviously is not an ultrasonic humidifier, so it's not going to work quite as well. But I picked all this up for maybe 15, 20 bucks, something like that. And basically what you're going to need is obviously a jug. I chose a 1 gallon jug just so we don't have to fill it up quite as often. You can obviously go a little bit smaller. I even saw some videos where they just use like just a regular water bottle. You obviously need some tubing. I decided to get 2 packs. I'm not quite sure exactly how much I'm going to need just yet. And I wanted to make sure I had enough without having to go back to Walmart. I got an air pump. I chose to get one that's for a 20 to 60 gallon. It also has dual ports going out, so I can get just a little bit more pressure because my terrarium is a little bit large. And then, of course, a glue gun and the glue. So, and then the tools that you will need is you'll need probably at least a drill. You can get a screwdriver that you can heat up to put a hole in the plastic jug, or I've got a soldering gun, so I'm probably going to use that instead. And we'll get it going. See how it goes. The one other thing you'll need is going to be a pair of scissors. The first thing I'm going to do is cut a couple pieces of tube to hook up the check valves or whatever they are. They don't have to be too long. You want to make sure they're about the same length. Alrighty. I'm just going to hook those up. And now I have chosen that I'm going to have both of the lines going into the bottom of this. Just I don't have another use for it right now. You could go pick up a T and probably make it a little bit easier, but I do want a lot of pressure going in. Next thing I'm going to do is put a hole in this top here, because that is where I do want the hose to come out, so that I can unscrew it and fill it back up relatively easily without having to worry about it too much. Yeah, and all that stuff, so it'll be a little easier. Alright, this has warmed up a good little bit. It's probably going to smell pretty bad, but make sure that my finger's not touching that. The other side. Pretty sure I'm going to make that probably just a little bit bigger. We'll see. Oh, no. Actually, that fits pretty tight. Pretty good right there. So now I got a good idea of what to do there as well. I might as well do those holes also. Then of course we'll use the hot glue to seal everything up. So, hopefully you can see this. I'll kind of do it down here so you can. Now you could drill these as well if you wanted to. I'm choosing to heat it up. So what we got is the tubes hooked up there. Got the 2 holes in the bottom, in which these are going to be going through. Alright, so this is it. So you got the 2 tubes going in. I want to throw some hot glue around those. The air is going to be going into there, coming up, and I've got the tube coming out of there, and then this end is going to go into the terrarium. I know it's not very big, but I might increase that later on. Alrighty, coming to the conclusion of the homemade humidifier. I've gotten everything pretty much set up the way that I want it, and I had to work around a few things as far as getting the heat and everything right, so that way I could make sure that humidifier was doing exactly what it was supposed to. What I ended up doing was doing 2 different hoses in the top. If you saw where I just put one hose in the top, then basically you just make another one right beside it and run another hose up. The one hose wasn't providing enough air coming out of it, and I was putting enough air into the container, so I went ahead and did 2 hoses, and it seemed to help out quite a bit. So right now, we'll look over here and zoom in. See, the temperature is somewhere around 82 to 84. In there, and the humidity is around 45. Generally, the humidity will vary at a pretty good little bit. It's been up to 60 to 65 with this setup. If the temperature drops a little bit lower, obviously the temperature comes up, or the humidity comes up a little bit. But generally, it stays above 45 at all times, and most of the time I look at it, it's usually above 50.